Welcome to the Weekly Hijack.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, all, everybody. Oh, wait, no.
Hey,
wrong show.
everybody.
No, this is not Lost. This is Doctor Who, and this was...
Before the Flood.
Before the Flood, which the previous episode was Under the Lake, now Before the Flood.
Yeah.
This is one of those episodes that I was on the verge of getting lost the whole time.
Yeah.
At least feeling that way. Like, when he said to the big scary dude...
The Fisher King.
The Fisher King.
Which is a great name.
Cool name. But when he had said all that stuff, yes, because I've done a list, I was like, wait, what? What did you... Who? What? Oh! And then they revealed it was all a bluff. And a very good bluff.
This is an episode that fully embraces time paradox.
Yeah.
Like they're like, we don't even care. We're going to just have it be there and have fun with it, which probably drives some people nuts, but they did it in a way that, like we were talking about right before the podcast started, you know, they do that little setup when you're talking straight to the audience about who wrote Beethoven's Fifth, and which was a really cool scene. You're like, you start that off, you're like, what episode is this?
Yeah, the doctor's talking to you almost like it's an episode of The Twilight Zone.
And so, if you go into a time paradox that is a legitimate paradox, it's nice that they kind of fully embrace it to begin with. And
then end it pretty much with a shrug.
Yeah. Like, we're just having fun with it. You know, I'll take that. I'll buy that because they know that that's what they're approaching it in that manner. Now, if they'd done it and they just kind of threw it away and never tried to, you know, just kind of pretend it didn't exist, I don't think it would have worked.
Which is kind of what The Flash did in the season premiere.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
How did The Flash do that?
Well, because
I just watched that.
Well, they didn't address, like Nathan said, they didn't address an elephant in the room from the season finale last year, where what's his name?
Wells.
Well, not Wells. The guy who killed himself. Wells' descendant kills himself so that Wells doesn't exist. Except everyone still remembers Wells existed because the fact that Wells did what he did is what pretty much started the whole series in the first place.
So they never addressed the paradox.
So they never addressed that paradox at all.
Because you've got to at least address, even if you just techno-babble it off, you should at least
touch on it.
Yeah. Anyways, with this, it was just this episode was very interesting because, I mean, obviously it was continuing to the second one, but it had a very different feel from last episode.
Yes, I mean, from last episode, I don't know that you could have predicted that the next one would be a time travel paradoxy type of story.
So I remember telling Zach someone time early last week that I bet the doctor's in that thing.
Oh, in the coffin?
Yeah.
Nick told that.
Yeah.
You know what? It would be interesting to watch this. You know, most two-parters are made, I don't know, maybe not always, but like if you watch it on DVD, you go from one to the other and it's no problem, it's just standing. This, like, if you went from one episode to the other episode on a DVD, you just were binge watching, you'd be like, wait, did I skip wait a second? Because it was set up. You can tell they set it up for television, for a week between, for a whole, you know, which is not, I don't think a lot of shows think about that and how they could tweak some things because there's a week's difference and things like that. They just go previously on and then do a couple of things and you go right from there.
And this was a fully contained, you know, it had its own kind of style and its own look and its own, like, weird paradox. You know, like, the whole, like, Back to the Future 2, them going half an hour back in time and seeing themselves. And
It
was interesting.
Cinematically, very desaturated. This I was trying to remember if the first, it probably was. I mean, just something that struck me. I think that's been true for much of Capaldi's run, you know.
Yeah.
Beginning of Matt Smith's, there was very, like, colors all over the place. And, you know, I was thinking about, like, the second episode when they're on the spaceship with the, like, evil...
robot thing.
Robot thing, yeah, the statues and stuff. And colors all over the place. Here, very desaturated, very trying to be, not realistic, but I don't know. It's just a completely different aesthetic for a very completely different Doctor. I completely derailed us from our paradoxy.
And it was just, I mean, this is an episode that I really would like to watch a second time in some ways to talk properly about it.
Yeah, no.
You feel like it was compressed a little bit, not in a bad way, but just that they were trying to make sure all the pieces fit so that it would work. And they had a lot of nice things set up. From last episode and things. Yeah,
it would be good to see it, so you can see kind of all the pieces set up beforehand, and it's like, oh, okay, so that's
I love the, you know, like, Clara's on her phone, and he has this little screen he keeps turning sideways and stuff.
I really appreciated that.
I think if you'd watch it as a full episode, I would love to see because my favorite part was at the very beginning, the Beethoven's thing.
Yeah.
He's talking. Has Doctor Who at least any time recently done talking to the audience that way?
Not as an actual episode, I don't think. They've done it for like special. Like I know there were some videos that they've shot for like concerts or for the Doctor Who experience over in Britain, but not for like not for the actual show.
That
I think
should go. If you watch this as a one-parter, that should go at the beginning of the whole thing. Watch it and then watch it at the end.
Well, the tricky thing though is that it would have very little to do with Under the Lake, the first part.
I know. It's a weird. If you watch it as a whole, it's a weird thing to have just like thrown in the middle though too.
Yeah. No, I mean
that's why it works as 2 episodes.
Some of the shots with the Fisher King were great. Like
the way he towered over.
Yeah,
the Doctor
that was
like
a cool looking alien. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like him just standing there, the flood coming down, and
I wondered for a minute if it was that Ministry of War the girl was talking about, because he's like Ministry, and he's like, "What is?" Oh, never mind, I'll find out. Which that might just be something for later this season.
Yeah, or maybe a reference to something earlier, even that he forgot. I don't know.
That's possible.
After the whole, or after they started getting invaded by aliens all the time back in Tennant's days.
yeah, that's possible. I'd love to, if I watch this again, I'd love to hear more. She said something about Martha and Rose I didn't quite catch, because sometimes it takes you a little while watching a Who episode to get to hear the accent for a while before you start really.
They all have different accents, those British people. I love it's bigger on the inside. It's bigger on the inside.
Aw.
And then she died.
It's so sad.
And and we had some very nice, with this doctor has more of than some doctor. Well, they all have it. The one guy saying, you knew she was going to die, but you wanted to test your the doctor does tend to be a little, and this doctor especially, a little loose on
saving everyone.
Like, not that he doesn't want to save everyone, but he, sometimes things happen, and it's just part of the cost of saving things.
He seems to be more a realist.
Yeah.
Than some of the other doctors have been. He's like, he wants to help everybody and do everything, but he knows, sometimes you gotta break.
But look what happened to the cook.
Well, and I wonder too, it's sort of a defense mechanism. You open yourself up to being hurt so many times, and
I think it plays well now that we've seen the doctor go through all these things. We had the war doctor, we had all this stuff. And it plays well with this older guy as the doctor. I think it fits better.
Yeah.
Than had you seen Tennant or somebody do that, it would have seemed rougher than it seems for him, because he seems more mature and older, and just like he's not quite as optimistic as he used to be. Which
Tennant's always like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
And Matt Smith's, Matt Smith tends to just try to pull everyone, save as much as humanly possible. And yeah, this guy, I think you're right. Realist is probably.
He's a realist who's a doctor, which means he can save almost everyone.
And he tries to.
And he tries to save almost everyone. It's not like a.
But he's not going to beat himself up too much for if he can't.
Yeah. And again, I would guess there's some Who fans that dislike that, because it's not quite the doctor they've come to know. But it doesn't seem as big a deal because of who the actor is who's playing this doctor. It just seems to fit him better.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I can see that. Cool episode. Next time looks like we've got Vikings and robots.
Yeah, why not? It's not.
it should be fun. Looking forward to that.
So two good 2-parters so far. So it's been pretty good season.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure the 2-parters aren't going to stop anytime soon. So see what happens next. Meantime, don't forget to subscribe to the Weekly Hijack and Derailed Trains of Thought, both of our podcasts on iTunes,
or Stitcher, or YouTube.
Yep. So we're all over the place.
Spread the word.
Until next time, this is Tim.
This is Nick.
Bye.